It's the opposition states that asked for the freedom to go out and buy vaccines themselves. Let us buy, we will do a better job. Now, the Modi government has given opposition rule states and other states the opportunity to go out and buy as they please. Now you're complaining that you don't like what's been done.
India is the only country in the world where the central government has thrown the ball in the courts of state governments, and we are seeing one vaccine manufacturer after the other actually putting up its hand and saying, we are not going to negotiate with you, we will talk to the central government. The central government on its part has not done enough to procure vaccination other than creating a state duopoly and very, very minuscule orders that were placed. I mean, we placed our first order in January 2021 and our first order was only 1,60,00,000 vaccine dosages.
The 50% of the vaccine is still being procured by the central government. And what would the central government do with it? It would share it with the state government.
Okay.
And then it would be passed on to the citizens of the country. They will be protected. Similarly, even Arvind Kejriwal had made an appeal, and I will play that video later, where he says, please decentralize the entire process.
Oh, sure, he said that. So let me put that question to Atishi Marlena.
I am amazed at the deception that the central government carried out, because they said, very good, we will decentralize, you procure it on your own from the manufacturers. But they tied the hands of the manufacturers, and Bharat Biotech and Serum Institute gave us clear written letters saying we will only deliver vaccines whenever and wherever the central government asks us to. And today, they have topped up their first deception by a second deception by saying private hospitals ko to mil gaya. The answer to that question needs to be given by the BJP, by the central government, because they are the ones who are regulating whom Bharat Biotech sells to, whom the Serum Institute sells to.
What the state governments have been stating and repeatedly stating is that we need more vaccines, we are running short of vaccines. What was the health minister saying? Health minister continues to say, oh, there is no shortage of vaccine, we will ensure that you all continue to get vaccines. What do they end up doing in the month of April? In the month of April, they wash their hands off and they introduce 3 prices. They allow the pharma companies, the manufacturing companies, to introduce 3 different pricing for the state, for the center and for the private hospitals for procurement. Till now, you've only ordered 34 crore vaccines for a population of 100 crore which is eligible for vaccination.
Now when the tenders are not working for the states, you're blaming the center. How do you respond?
My leader and my party from day one have been saying that something on the lines of national immunization program needs to be followed, wherein we have one central agency that purchases the vaccines, gives it to the states, and it is then the prerogative, responsibility and duty of the states to inoculate its own citizens within the state. That has been my stand. I can't speak for other political parties.
Vaccine is not that even if you want to order potato chips for 2.6 billion people, considering 2 dosages, it would take a lot of time. And each and every country will supply to their people first. And please understand, as early as November, the Prime Minister of India had visited all 3 vaccination centers. Today, the opposition is not interested in fighting the virus. They are more interested in fighting Narendra Modi and Government of India.
Central government has always bought the vaccine, and let me also clear this misconception, which even I am surprised that the member Niti Aayog mentioned in his note that he has released today, that, you know, vaccine procurement, after all, health is a state subject. But they should read the concurrent list. The Indian Constitution has 3 lists: central, state and concurrent. And the interstate infectious disease control is a concurrent subject under serial number 29. And that is what is the legal basis for central government, which has been used to procure vaccines, build our cold chain, train our people. And we are one of the most successful countries in doing large vaccination campaigns in the country.
I, for one, have constantly maintained that it is the government of India alone who should be purchasing the vaccines, because this issue came up not today. It came up before the vaccination program started on the 2nd of January 2021.
It is a completely wrong policy to allow or to make a state to purchase vaccine, because the states governments do not have sufficient experience in purchase of the vaccines. We know that the health department of the most of the Indian states have no previous experience of purchasing the vaccine. If there is one particular division in the health department which is really weak, is a procurement and supply division. So making them to buy vaccine in a mid-pandemic is definitely not the right step.
Is Twitter a publisher or is Twitter an intermediary? And either ways, does it not have to comply with the rules?
What had happened when 26 January happened and at Red Fort, people were there and all that was telecasted on Twitter.
Okay.
They never banned that, they never did a social. But yes, when it happened at Capitol Hill, they banned it. I mean, they banned Trump. So why this selective thing? And Twitter is not an FBI. Twitter is not an investigating agency. They will not decide what is right or wrong.
You have a sovereign democratic republic. The republic has actually promulgated a law and there are a set of rules. Every intermediary wanting to operate in this jurisdiction must comply with the rules. And if they find that the rules are not in consonance with their business model or constitutional rights, they are free to challenge it. Simply because you don't comply with the rule, can you, the state missionary, use police force to land up at the doorstep of these officials who are present in India and therefore intimidate them?
Now, one has to be extremely naive to believe that this is about enforcement of laws or rules. No, it is not. It is about sending a message. Social media giants have called them out for their forgery and manipulation, for their fabrication. This is an attempt to arm twist and browbeat them.
These companies are partisan, they're arbitrary and arrogant. It's a commercial organization. It's not an altruistic outfit. It is using India as a profit center. So my question, and I have a legal background too, is can Twitter arrogate the authority to itself to be the arbiter? What is the framework of reference? Who decides to flag a tweet? What is the basis? Can they be anonymous? Because it amounts to a penalty. Okay. Was due process followed? So basically, as far as I am concerned, it reeks of double standards. And for Twitter to say that they are the upholder of transparency, freedom of information, etc., is frankly woolly-mouthed and nothing more, nothing less.